What's up everyone, 124san's here with another Chromatic Cube draft. Chromatic Cube is leaving when the Edge of Eternity drops, I think it's next Tuesday. So need to get some draft of this before it leaves. Without further ado, let's look at the pack 1, pick 1. I think for this one we just take a very modest pick, like Price of Fame, which is surprisingly a very good removal for this format because there are so many legendary creatures, so this is a 2-mana destroy target creature and survival 2. And usually the priority of this cube is picking any early game ramp / color fixing you can have, and then you pick up removals, and in the end the big haymakers, because there are just so many big and splashy spells in this cube. Pack 1, pick 2. Any ramp, Guana is a 3-mana that ramps 0-mana creature that ramps for 2, which is quite good actually. And in terms of removals, there's Fire with Fire and Elspeth Conquers Death. But I think I like Guana enough to pick him right now. This can ramp into a 5-drop or even 6-drop if your head is a land drop, and it also grows bigger. Although the problem of drafting Green is super overdrafted in this set, in this format, just because of the nature of everyone want to splash and want to ramp. Pick 3. There's a great henge that instantly lock us into green, but the payoff of it is quite nice. As long as you have any big creatures, you can just play it, and all of your creatures after playing Great Henge will be a card draw. And you also gain 2 life every time you tap this. I like this quite a lot. Or if you want to be safe, there's Celestus, which is probably one of the best 3-mana mana rock. It gives you incidental looting and also gains 1 life when that happens. And since it's digital, you don't have to track the day and night by yourself. But yeah, I like the idea of Great Henge here. Hopefully we got past enough green, which is very not likely to be the case. Pick 4. Don't think there's anything that stands out as a haymaker, so I think we just pick a land here. And Mana Confluence and Fabled Passage can be used in any deck, but Mana Confluence has the downside of always costing you 1 life. It's not like the starting town from Final Fantasy where you can just choose to have for colorless and not lose that 1 life. So yeah, because of this, I like Fabled Passage more. Other than that, yeah, just take the Fabled Passage. Pack 1, pick 5. There is a 2-mana mana rock in Craterhoof. The downside is it only ramps 2 creature spell. But even with that downside, I think it's good enough to play. And for example, if we also have Kogla or Dragonlord Acharka, this Craterhoof is a very good card to ramp into those, and after playing a big creature, you can just tap the Heirloom to give them trample, and when they hit opponent, you draw a card. Yeah, I like this a lot, and especially with cards like Kogla Titanape, who doesn't have trample by itself. But yeah, we're doing the green stuff. Pick 6. In terms of haymakers, there's Sun Titan and the Overlord. And in terms of ramp, there's Ironcrag, which is a 2-mana ramp. And there's also a Forsaken Crossroads for all-purpose land. But I think we're just gonna take the Scythe Cup here as landfall that puts a counter, and if it's double landfall, you double counter, which you can use to double Guana's counter, and with Fabled Passage, that's like 2 landfall with 1 land drop. Like this a lot. Pick 7. I think this is a pack where we will pick a haymaker. And the Titan of Industry is a pretty good one and still put us in green. Or we can pick a Day of Judgment for a board wipe. But there are also other board wipes. So I think you can go around picking either of this, but we're playing green for sure. So let's pick the Titan. Pick 8. There's Collective Defiance and Trapping Screen for removal. But I like the idea of Craterhoof Behemoth. This is a very good target to ram into, and as long as you have some decent board state, this just instantly win you the game. Pick 9. On color, there's just Eladramic. Look at the top, can cast creature. Tap 2 untap creatures to put a big thing on the board. Actually works quite well with the Titan Industry and Craterhoof Behemoth that we have. So yeah, come on in. We do need some sort of removal though. Don't have any right now. But then I think we are sticking with creatures for big drops, and the Speed Demon is a decent one. It hurts ourselves, but without pushing the engine speed count, just take 1, draw a card, which is totally fine. Pick 11. Vraska is decent, but Vraska cannot be ramped like Guana, cannot be ramped by her Heirloom, so priority is kinda low for non-creatures. Let's take the Underground Mortuary for green-black fixing. Need to take some veggies after taking a lot of haymakers. Dragon's Horde. Work with Dragon and it's just 3 mana ramp by itself, or we just take a... I think we just take a land. And then we just immediately got a Dragon. But we can just always take the Dragon. We don't need the Dragon Heirloom. On the other hand, there's a Skycave Relic, but it's another 3 mana rock, which is kinda low. Not priority. Take the Robbery, maybe we play it. And the pack to pick 1. Anything outstanding? Golos. Golos is a 5 mana ramp basically. And the Fecum Green Shell can be a ramp, but and it also works well with cards like Guena if we pick up more toughness creatures like it. But Guena is the only toughness metric creature that we have. So actually not that high of a priority. There's a 3 mana ramp in Heap Harvest, but I think it's weak enough that we don't need to prioritize it. And Solacing Raccoon is a 4 mana ramp that I don't like. Maybe I just take a Golos. Golos can be pretty great in late game, especially if it hits the Rainbow cost, which can be helped by Grena. Something to keep in mind. Back to pick 2. Lion Noir Lone Keeper is a 2 mana dork. Or we can take a Planet Genesis, but it touches blue. And Nisa searches for a forest. This is not the... Yeah, this is the Origins Nisa. Search for forest when it enters, and when it controls more lands, flips. I think I like the idea of a 2 mana dork here over anything else. 3. Wasteful Verge is a pretty decent land, but there is a Shieldless Edict, which is one of the better cheap interactions that we can have in this cube. Yeah, I like this more. And now we have 2 interactions in Edicts and Price of Fame. Back to pick 4. And Cold Steel Hearts is one of the better cards in this cube because a 2 mana rock, and everyone wants a 2 mana rock, including me. And I'm willing to pass a Volbone Tyrant, which is a very good top end over this because we already have like 3 top ends in Behemoth, Atarka, and Titan of Industry. Other than these two, there's also a very fun card in Gonti, Lord of Luxury. You just steal your opponent's best card from their top 4. But yeah, Cold Steel Heart. Always draft this. Pick 5. This is not a Mizzix Mastery deck. And think we just pick our own color dual land in Dark World Pathway. Mishra's Command is not a good removal because you always have to pay more mana than the toughness. Resource Collector, a random non-food in graveyard becomes a food and you can play it. It's a graveyard recursion, but we don't have any mill so far. Just gonna take a land. Pick 6. Doubling Season is a physical commander card and nothing more. A Wild Slash is a cheap interaction that we can play. It's not in black, not in green. So we can splash for red, certainly. And or Lumra, Battle of the Woods. Actually, I like Lumra more. Wild Slash is always gonna be 2 damage. Which is actually good against like Mana Dorks, but just not this Mana Dork. Lana Loam Speaker. It's a 1/3. Pick 7, Fountain Board Charmer as one of the overperformers from what I've seen. You really don't want to see opponent play this because the creatures in their hand just becomes like Omega cheaper when they offspring this. By Omega, I mean 2 mana less. Yeah, love this a lot. And we're definitely playing all the creatures. Pick 8, we have Roaring Clacks that puts double counters versus Krona Rescue Beastie that's and she's a permanent. Both have their charm actually, and we do care a decent amount of counters. So maybe we can get more summon effects like Kona at 4 mana, but we can only get 1 Roaring Clacks. Happy to play that. And we have a decent amount of 2-drops and Legging Haymakers. So for this one, we can certainly pick a Rakdos drawing up that works with Lumra, Roaring Clacks, Dragonlord, and Taka. Yeah, returns a creature card. And even Eldrami, Grenna, Golos. Yeah, there's a lot. Let's just pick this. Pick 10. And I think here we can just pick Burn Down the House. We don't have any board wipes, and this can definitely serve as a board wipe. Or we can take a Burst Lightning, but we have 0 board wipes so far, and we have a decent amount of... by decent I mean 2. 2 cheaper interactions. And for this one, I think we just take Forgefire Automaton because it can be played for 3 mana. That's it. Pick 12, Wolfman Tyrant. And we have a lot of Haymakers, so we don't need to take anymore. I'm gonna play this Mishra's Command because we don't have that many top ends, but it's robbery. This deck doesn't need it. And we can start cutting some top ends as well. I actually like Dragonlord Ataka. And Unleash the Inferno deals 7 damage to something, and then when it deals excess damage, destroy. Maybe you can play this, don't like it though. Pack 3, pick 1, anything on color. No lands on color, but Menagerie Curator and the Rogue Sang are very strong. I think I'm just gonna take Menagerie Curator because like most of the time you're gonna draw a card when you cast a creature after this. And I really don't like it when the opponent plays that. They always draw a lot of creatures. Pick 2. Prismatic Vista searches for any land, and we do need some lands right now. I think it's better than Craterhoof Triumph, because even though you're only getting a basic out of this, it's always untapped. On the other hand, there's Massacre Worm, which provides board wipe effects that this deck can use, but let's just take this. I think I'm gonna cut Forgefire Automaton here. If you're playing on 3, it's not that impactful unless your opponent immediately answers our 2-drop. Pick 3. Primeval Herald is a good way to ramp. And this is just a big dumb thing that we don't need. Over Lily or Junji, yeah, I think we take a Premier Herald here. And do need to start cutting some cards. I still like Scythe can't cut enough for this deck. Good enough for me to keep. Pick 4. We passed the worm, so we can try to pick Performer Crocodile instead, which is very similar to the worm, except you're not making them -2/- right away. You give them Step Wound, which is also -2/-2, but if they're alive, they just start hurting your opponent. Can be a very good thing to play. And also cycles for 2. So yeah. And now we're really starting to pick lands, and there's more 2-drop ramp, but I think our deck is good enough with all of these. Don't need to pick them any higher. Although Sylvan Carrot is a good one. Screw it. Let's just pick this because this is much better than something like Close Your Heart. And we still get lands here, which is fine. Don't need Infernal Titan here. Let's just get a Thornspire Verge. That's a dual land. And there's way too many high top ends. I think I don't like Lomra among these. Charter of Carol, and I don't like Golos. And yeah, just think I'm just gonna pick a land here. I don't have enough domain for the Kabu. Although Rakdos joins, it makes Rakdos joins up if I don't play Lumra, which is a mill and a legendary creature by itself. Pick 8. The Eldest Reborn is kind of decent, can play over Rakdos Reborn. Or there's a Bituminous Blast. Our deck certainly likes removal, and this is a removal that has value attached to it. Actually, let's pick this. Pick 9. Don't think we're playing anything here. Pick 10. Worm back. I like Worm over Performer Crocodile. Or we can pick an Enjoy Vitality, which has some mana, but don't think that's the area that we need help in. Pick 11. Lily of the Veil's back.
I'll have this fight finished before brunch.
Pick 12. And give a card for Scrapture to do something. Oh, 3-drop. Put it in the sideboard. Casualties versus Crassy. And needs cards. Don't think we're playing any of this though. And alright, deck building. There's so many ramp that get passed this time around, and we do need to play one more card. Actually, I don't like Lily for this deck though. And will we play another 2-drop like Coast Your Heart? Or we play Golos, and we got our mana for the Golos activating ability from cards like Menagerie. No, Menagerie Curator doesn't even work with it, because it only taps for creature spells cast, not its ability. So actually not a high priority for that. And Rakdos joins up. How many legendaries do we have? Antraka 1, Vorinclex 2. Not enough for this. Wait, what did I add? We are Pillage the Bog. Pillage the Bog is a card selection that also works well in the late game. And we certainly don't need that many Haymakers. One Massacre Worm is good enough. Maybe we should just like put another ramp in, aka Coast Your Heart. Or we take Hogwarts Forge Fire. Power less than this creature's power. If we play it for 3 mana, it doesn't do it. It only cares about our 2-drops. Or we just play a Mission's Command because we lack removals. It should be actually fine though with unleashing the Infernos that I'm actually playing. And Betrummer's Last. And certainly don't need that many mountains. And don't need Outrageous Robbery to steal opponent stuff, because we have a lot of good stuff ourselves. Yeah, tough one. I think we just pick Coast Your Hearts and call it a day. Alright. Here's the whole deck. We just cast our 2 mana ramp to cast all the big things later. That's basically the deal. Let's head to the gameplay. Alright, game 1 of the Chromatic Cube draft. We start with 4 landers, turn 2 Heirloom, turn Sequena, but with no top hands in hand. But we have a lot of top hands in our deck, so this is certainly a keeper. Play the tap land first. Draw another land. And they play the Menagerie Creature, which I am just gonna edict that. Before they use the mana to do anything. And next turn is gonna be Glade into Gwenna into Speed Demon. Alright, they play that off curve. By me. And if they don't answer Gwenna, we just have a Speed Demon up next turn. They have mana for Spell Swindle, which is terrifying. So there's a reason to not play the Speed Demon right now. Yeah, I like that idea more than bashing our heads into a Spell Swindle, but it can also just be a flash creature. And I'm putting a counter on Gwenna regardless, so actually let's try it. Oh yeah, it is a... Wow, for free? Damn. They got a high roll on here. It's Batman. Yep, they got a free Speed Demon because of this. Very much not a fan, especially when they high roll to the Scales redirection. Get our speed with the Tender Well Guide. Pass our Overlord. Wow, they're doing good. It's not like we're doing anything less. Although there's a bit too much of a drawing lands from our end. Need to tap our entire board for 1 turn. Which is gonna gain 3 life and draw a card, draw into another land. Not a fan. But at least we get to block the Overlord of Huntwoods. And if we have any bounce spell, we can get this demon back, but we don't because we're not in blue. Yep, they attack with Overlord Huntwoods, gets another everywhere. I think Huntwoods is one of the best cards that you can play in this cube because it can be a 3-mana ramp, it can be a big creature, and it gives you everywhere, which tests for all sorts of mana. Draw into a Craterhoof Behemoth, which is quite powerful, especially if they Speed Demon hurt themselves every turn. Just need them to tap out and not have any counter spells like Gale's Redirection. Surgical, gonna get a Vault on turns. Oh, they're not dead, that means. Because at least they tap out, that's a good thing. Burn down the house. Doesn't burn down the Vault Tyrant, destroys everything else. If you burn down the house, they... Actually, I like it. But if I burn down the house, Gwynna's gonna die. That's the downside of it. They have an Into the Royal. That's a perfect answer to our Bourbon Tyrant. I think we just fire the hoof right now. Go into a cup. Can play, but no reason to play. Let's just attack with all. Can they just blow? Do we actually lethal here? Yeah, we do. Okay, we have lethal if their 1 mana can't help them. I'll be very sad if they can. Yep. Oh, Craterhoof Behemoth is good. Period. And I can't believe I was thinking of playing anything else. Yeah, because Hoof is lethal there. Pretty sweet. Game 1, heading into game 2. Alright, here we are, game 2. Starting with a 2-drop ramp, rather one Lone Speaker, and a 3-drop ramp, Gwenna Eyes of Gaia. And a Coastal Heart too. No top ends, but we can draw into those. Just like before. Have to play the Death Calculate first. And we draw a Craterhoof Behemoth that works well with both Lone Speaker and Gwenna. Which is quite nice. They present Mountain Island. I think there's equal chance of either of this getting blow up. But still gonna play Coastal Heart here. Because I think there's a slightly more chance of they have a creature removal than this. And if I play anything creature, I can just unleash the Inferno it, which they don't, they play a ramp. We just Gwenna, an extra Lone Speaker. Or unleash the Inferno. And this also blows up target artifact or enchantment, which is quite nice, blowing up this one Power Stone. Maybe they just play a Planeswalker right now for me to blow it up. That'll be neat. Chromatic Sea Shark. That leaves 3. Alright, access damage is 3 if we just blow out the Chromatic Sea Shark. So that will 100% be the play for next turn. And burn out the house can make 1/1s. Like the idea. So yeah, this turn is gonna be Gwenna tap for this thing. And then we unleash the Inferno on the Chromatic Sea Shark, blow up one. Roll up the Power Stone. Oh, 2 for 1. Always good. Next turn we can fire the Craterhoof right away, or we can actually make a... Can we actually make a land into a creature and then fire the Craterhoof? I think that'll just be instant lethal. Provided they don't leave any mana for counterspell. Or if they're just gonna fire removal here, I'll burn down the house to make 1/1s. Let's actually count. So 1 land cannot tap for land because we tap for our Lone Speaker. Sure. First mirror into Gwenna for ramp. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's not 8 because our Lone Speaker cannot tap for mana also. 2 Facebreaker make 2 treasure, that's also fine. So yeah, actually cannot play Craterhoof if we have this for a land. And we also just lose 2 creatures. We just lose the Lone Speaker that can attack, so that didn't work out. But I think it should be still be lethal if we just play this outright. When that untaps itself, we don't need to tap Long Speaker for mana. But the problem is they have 3 mana open, which can be a cancel variant, which is present. Or we just say screw it and fire it anyways. And the worst thing that can happen is a cancel variant, and the game is not over if we get cancelled. Let's just try it. And if they sacrifice treasure to exile top card, they're not gonna have any mana to castles. And it's actually not lethal, it's just a lot of damage. So the game is not end with this either. Plus we do have Burn Down the House next turn, which is gonna make 3 1/1s that can just hit your opponent, regardless if they die or not. Although if they have if they have the Cyclonic Rift, I'll need to go to combat first and let them Cyc Rift my entire board, and then I play them wrong hand. That's also fine. If they cast a hard wall wipe right now, I just burn out the house, which is lethal. Bahili, the Sound's Brilliance, that doesn't do anything. Attacks with Professional Facebreaker, that makes 1 more treasure to do something. And currently they are dead on board. Bunch of technicals, that bounces everything, makes an 8/8, but it's still dead. Thanks to my little friend Burn Down the House, makes 3 8 1/1s that deals damage regardless if they are blocked or not. Okay, so glad I fired the Craterhoof Behemoth. And yep, very sweet game 2. We won the game 1 and game 2 all thanks of Behemoth. And let's head to game 3. Alright, here we are at game 3. Starting with 3-lander, ramp at 2, and a Psychic Cup that works with Favorite Passage. Don't think we're gonna play any ramp at 2, because Psychic Cup into a Favorite Passage can be a beater with 4 counters. And we are gonna play the Carrot after this. Yep. They're gonna take a beating from this cup. But we do need to draw more lands, and we did, nice. I think we don't need to fire this Fabled Passage anymore. We can just use the mountain to put 1 counter first, and then Fabled Passage will be put 1 more counter and then put 2 more counter. Sadly, we don't have any 5-drop. Cultivate Growth Spiral, wow, they certainly ramp a lot. Restless Cottage, need to play this tap land first. And this mana goes to waste, but we have Warren Class after. Sadly, have to play Warren Class before this. But they already have like 7 mana after like 3 ramps. And that can just be a Psych Rift. I think we still just play this. Maybe I should activate the Restless Cottage because of this. Oh well. I think they are holding a Psych Rift. I just don't want to use it on these two. And I should probably play it. But if they have Psych Rift, they can just choose to bounce this instead. Also a possible play. But yeah, if they somehow tap out with our Scythe Cap Cup intact, we just win with this, maybe? That can also happen. Oblin is reenacted, sadly. Cup is gonna die.
I may look like a demon, but I have the heart of a warlord. This plane will be as dust.
Yeah, I think maybe I should play Fable Passage. Oh, well. And Anchaka can deal with Obnixilis. Just like that.
I am not truly.
And most likely Dragonlord is gonna die, so we play this Titan of Industry after. No Rifter, that's just a divination. And they still have a lot of mana up. Not sure what's that. It cannot be a Sacred, so let's just fire fire a Hoof. This Hoof also attacks for 8. Actually, it doesn't attack for 8 anymore. But doesn't matter too much. We win another game with Hoof matters a little bit. If they have removal, they can just use removal right now, so Hoof hits for 7. But yeah. Our opponents ramp a lot and didn't do anything this game. Don't know what they have. 3-0 heading into game 4. Alright, here we are game 4, starting with 2 mana ramp and a Shooter's Edict, which is gonna work well when we go second. Gonna keep. Agent Roughing, okay, it doesn't work well anymore, sadly. And the Agent Roughing can just keep stealing our cards. Not a fan. But they choose to attack because they have a Charter Force. That's fine, and we got a very good top deck. Primeval Herald that can be curved into after playing the Lone Speaker. I leave mana up this time, makes sense. I think I'm just gonna play this Herald into their, maybe their cancel. There isn't a lot of cancel in this format. I think there's only one. Only one counter spell has 3 mana. So we should be kind of safe here, take action for a green. And next turn we can cast a 6, which is gonna be Massacre Worm. It's a single-sided board wipe that I am definitely gonna cast to make a way for our Primeval Herald. I really hope they tap out here, but most likely they don't because they are very heavy blue. Or I can just save the Massacre Worm, but if I play Massacre Worm here, that's like making a way for Voluntarans, which is also good, but it's also a pretty good play after Menagerie Curator. But actually, I like the idea more. Let's Lone Speaker a land and attack with both. Get a lamp from ramping. Yep, that's fine. And play a Menagerie Curator that can draw us cards if provided this survives. Rewind, yep. I'm so glad I cast this instead of any of the upends. And they don't have any small creatures for their stuff anymore. For the Shield's Edict anymore. That's what I meant. If they just tap out for big creature, I just edict them. Very much a fan for this play. And we hit our 7th land regardless of long speaker survives or not. Sidebar Siphoner for Rewind or Shadow Course. Ah yeah, that's ugly. I can just like rewind every turn. And say it's rewind time, yeah! I think I just edict that. Because they can have like a bounce spell that just works infinite with Cyber 7. Yeah, they are gonna rewind that, sure. Not sure if this is gonna resolve. Let's just try to do this first. Definitely not gonna cast Volunteer here. That hits, of course. Let's try and massacre this. Yep, of course. Yeah, not gonna let this resolve. They probably also have like a 5 mana counter spell as well. Don't like playing against counter spells. That's the biggest bang of these sort of ramp and play big thing. Alright. They are leaving this turn open. They gain life and they make treasure. That's it. So we are gonna do our thing. Bomb Tyrant. And oh, a 2-drop. That also works well with Craterhoof Behemoth. If they tap out again, maybe I just get a lethal out of nowhere. Pretty please. But maybe you just like cast a Cyclonic Rift. And bounce my entire board. Yep. Not a fan. Not a fan of Behemoth thing into like a million open mana, so this is not a good attack either. The only good attack is open turns. Dragon double block. And we get our Volunteer number 2. That draws a card. You're not gonna play anything here. And now their bounce spell is super effective against this. Mara, River Regents, yep. Etrumus Blast can blast this off. And the Voron class is not big enough, but it can 100% resolve. I think we just blast this actually, just in case they can bounce this back. It will be a nightmare if this is in their hand. Oh, Cup. And we can still prepare for the Craterhoof Behemoth win out of nowhere if they tap out, that is. They have to tap out. The Speed Demon, that's from my deck. Play it on the defensive. I think we just go freaking YOLO. This is the best turn for it, and this format only have one counterspell as 3. That's what I remembered. Please. Please, let's resolve. Okay, I resolved. And everything is +5/+5. But they can have a removal, which they're gonna use right now. I'm gonna search for basic, which is gonna double the counter of this one. I'm still attacking for lethal, so they have to block something here. They're gonna double block though. It's gonna kill the Marron River Regent. And next turn is Roaring Crack's time. And we're gonna be out of steam after that. And the Speed Demon is also killing them if they don't do anything. They're drawing a lot of cards though. That can matter. Fountain Board Charmer. I'm just gonna offspring this. It's a 3 mana, 2/3, and 3/3, and makes foreign cast 4 mana. And most likely the Warring Cast is gonna get dealt with. But here we go. Yep, snappy counterspell, and that's it. We are officially done with our hand. And the good thing about Snappy is Snappy makes the spell exile instead of the Saiba whatever thing that picks up. Alright, now we wait. We wait patiently for 5 turns and win. Perhaps, but they always have the option to just bounce the Speed Demon to their hand when things go south. Saints Elandra, yep, that's gonna win them the game. Conjure a card for free they can cast right now. I don't know the spellbook, it's gonna be Face Fetters that gains 4 life. And they're still very cautious with their life total, but I think that's pretty much it. They're gonna win with Saints Elandra. So we scoop here. Alright, I think this is probably the worst matchup that we can face, but we still put up a very good fight. 3-1 heading into game 5. Alright, here we are at game 5. Hopefully we don't face blue counter spell this time. Got a Menagerie Creature, but nothing to ramp into. Still gonna keep this though. Hopefully we just somehow draw very good after this. I can hope. And this is not it. Need to draw something to play. Betrayer's Blast. Menagerie Creator cannot tap for this, sadly. This only casts creature spells. Yeah, maybe I should pick up more creature spells as 3/4. And now we just wait because we're door stuck. At least Betrayer's Blast and Burn Down the House can help a little bit. Plus, I just dropped another mountain, which is enables the Burn Down the House. They for Season Crossroad for blue, but they have 3 red-green dual. So I guess they're just splashing blue for some big things. Okay, they all die to Burn Down the House. That thinks that's happening next turn. Yeah, that's 100% happening next turn. I just need to make sure we play in the mountain next turn. And really hope they just play a bunch of small things so Burn Down the House can wipe every one of them. That's not a small thing, sadly. I'm still gonna Burn Down the House. And we take 5 here. And then we die to the Marrow River Tyrant. Or no, they choose to tap and put a counter. Fine. Yeah, I have to burn down the house right now. I think we just lose to this Marrow River Tyrant unless miracle happens. That is. Ox is trampling. That's not good. Shooter's Edict. Okay, that's one of the cards that I really want to draw right now. But let's play our hand out first. Wait, the auto tapper test for that, and I still have a third swamp in the deck, so that still works. I think we just pass. We can block the hugs on the ground. So we just block first, and then use a Shooter's Edict after they do anything, or they do nothing. And then Shooter's Edict the River Tyrant after that. Or we die to a direct damage after this, but I'm not playing around the direct damage spell. And yep, feels Batman. Alright, 3-2 heading to game 6. But do we need to change our deck a little bit because we are lacking 3s and 4s? Scrap Shooter? We just play the Scrap Shooter because we're lacking 3s? Or you can still play the Forge Fire. Yeah, I think we play us. We'll definitely play more creatures here. In that case, we cut or something. For that, but what do we cut? Let's actually cut Coast Your Heart, because that was one of the last pick during deck building anyways. And I misclicked something and Lumos is in. Alright, 40. Let's head to the game 6. Hopefully things goes better this time. Alright, game 6. Going first. But I have to mulligan this. There's no 2-drop ramp. Not much better, a little bit better. I think we can keep. Get rid of the non-creature spell. And this hand is borderline playable. Play the Menagerie creator first. And then Gwen after this. Or Earth Heirloom if we draw a land. And yep. They got us. And we didn't draw a land. Because why not? And that the Bloodship Surge is gonna set us back to Stone Age, basically. They can just make a Virus Beetle. Not a fan. But I'll just let them make Virus Beetle, screw it. Play this Merge, play Gwenna, and pass. Hopefully the Gwenna doesn't get removed. I'll be Omega screwed otherwise. And I can worm this beetle. Daunty. Not a fan. I think the good thing is they cannot cast expensive stuff. And yeah, this turn's gonna be Massacre Worm to get rid of the Swan Saboteur. And we cup. And the Virus Beetle We'll get rid of the scrap shooter if I play it. That reads like a board wipe to me, but yeah, I lose a board wipe too. Yep. And this hand is not good. But draw me. Cast creature from the top. Tap 2 untapped creatures. I actually like Scrap Shooter more because Scrap Shooter is a 4/4 that works with Craterhoof. That's the only reason. And I think we just discard Volbon Terrans if they play the Virus Beetle right here. Because we can actually cast out Aladrami. And Scrap Shooter can draw us cards by attacking. Going to Great Henge that we cannot play. Oof. This is instant speed, so we just attack first. And 100% tapping this Heirloom to draw a card. And what do we have at the top? Land. Oh well, we're playing the land. And Aladrami needs three creatures. And only works on creatures, right? Now they have a good block against Scrap Shooter. Offspring? Oh wow, what a good card, Offspring. Yeah, Scrap Shooter is not having a good time here. Against all of those. Can cast creature spells on top, but there isn't any. But we also have the option to just bing that. And it's a swamp, alright, so happy I binned that. Then leave up Scrap Shooter for blocks. And if they have enough mana, they can just cast our stuff. Injury Innocence, that's another Welcome Vampire effect. They can draw like a million thanks to this. They are gonna attack and I am gonna block. And damage is gonna happen. Maybe something that deals 2 damage. Or they just feel like attacking because they don't want to draw the entire deck. That's serviceable too. Generate. Okay, they tap out. Draw the land. I'm gonna top deck a Shieldred's Edict. And if I attack with Scrap Shooter, they can just triple block and I'll be very sad. So let's just play the Swamp and play the Great Henge. And don't... Arena automatically put a stop for this, so we should be fine. Discard a card to return a mana value 2 or less. We can be Swarm Saboteur, one of the better options here. And Sylvan Canary is the card, is our card. Extinction. Oh wow! They just set us back to Stone Age. And we're not gonna have any hand. I need to tap this for mana. Don't forget. Sacrifice Planeswalker, sacrifice a token. Sun Titan. Yeah, I think we just screwed this. Oh, this is such a roller coaster of a cube, going from 3-0 into C3. That's fast. And let's take a look at this deck. I think the deck's biggest weakness is lacking in 3 and 4s. After the 2 mana ramps, we have so many 2 mana ramps that a good 3 and 4 follow-up will be very nice. And yeah, just like the last game, one early game removal can just set us back so much. That costs us the game later. And there are so many high ends that I shouldn't play that many, especially Warring Clax is not performing that well. I play Warring Clax because it works well with counter makers like Scythecat Cup and Baby Greyhenge. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I should drop more 3 and 4 drops instead of having that many top ends. Yep, that's it for the cube. Thank you guys so much for watching and see you in next time.